Is this a calendar vacation that you have? Because he did go on just about the same time last year. Is that infused in the president's calendar that he will take a leave at this time of the year?
It's for him to choose, looking at exigencies of moment and the work that is before him. I think the contemplation for it began towards the end of the year, and we thought that soon after Christmas he would probably go. State matters obviously would keep coming, but at some point he had decided that he would go. President is very much for annual vacations. In fact, the last word he said when he was asked by the Hausa reporter, he said, please, all Nigerians, enjoy your vacations. This is not a country where people get used to that kind of thing. And a lot of that has happened in the past, perhaps by people who have things to cover when they think that things will be discovered when they leave office. Auditors warn you that when they go to check accounts, the first suspect in fraud situations would be where maybe somebody hasn't gone on leave for many years. If they have something to hide, they would rather stick to their desk.
Let's talk about Mr. President's intentions. He said that he was going to draw from other sectoral budgets to fight the insurgency in the Northeast. Many people are concerned about this. How do you think this is going to work?
Well, the president is a man of due process. He will not alter appropriations without due consent of the national. I think Nigerians will have noticed something that we haven't seen for quite a long time. Towards the close of the year, he requested for environment of about 200 billion naira from the National Assembly in order that salary payments be updated and made up. In the past, the National Assembly got to be briefed after the fact. They will have been briefed that we did this. This is not the president that will do that. So if there is a need to take away from some other sectors to do, it's a war situation, the National Assembly will be taken into consideration and their okay would be solved.
Interesting. There's another interesting development that we seem to have pushed to the backgrounds. Let's bring it up to you now. How have you been able to monitor the ongoing disbursements of the 5,000 naira funds meant for the most vulnerable Nigerians today?
Well, it has just got started now, and the effort, as we speak, is to see that the coverage is extended to all of the states of the Federation. So far, 9 are on the table, and it's ongoing. How do you monitor? It is on the basis of credible data supplied by the World Bank, supplied by Bureau of Statistics, National Population Commission, and the Bill Gates Foundation, that this data was obtained. And as we speak now, all effort is to ensure that nobody is a free rider as far as that is concerned. It's not free money to politicians, to just anybody. And of course, this is a government that has just instituted a whistleblower policy. So citizens have also a duty where they see wrongdoing to just blow the whistle, and correction is effective in that regard.
What do you make of the so many workers who are on strike or about to go on strike and giving the government that warning, threatening to also down their tools for non-payment of their salaries and arrears, and that the government is not implementing some of those agreements reached?
It is a salary crisis talk to the states. I think that the president, when he came in initially, in fact, he declared the issue of non-payment of salary as a national security issue, a national emergency. And he has done 3 huge payouts to the states, mandating them to take care of worker salaries. I'm not saying that the federal government is 100%. Salaries are paid in all situations except where there are technical or administrative difficulties which are being rectified. Would there be no strike in a democracy? This is not Mussolini's Italy or Hitler's Germany. Obviously, people will want to disagree, but the government is doing the most that it can in order to contain some of these things. The most noticeable of these agreements that you mentioned is the one between government and the ASU. And you can see the goodwill from government that a national committee has been set up to sit down and dialogue with them. And I know that a similar exercise had been done with the National Association of Resident Doctors to talk. Perhaps things have gone wrong on the table, but the government has the capacity to bring back everyone and ensure that these things don't continue unabated.
Let's talk more about the security situation in the country. As you know, the president stated that another major item it needs to do is to fund the Niger Delta amnesty program. According to him, the ex-militants who have entered into the program have only been paid allowances up to May 2016. The president is nursing also fears that restiveness could resume in the Niger Delta region and has supported a 35 billion naira injection to the Niger Delta amnesty program. How is this working out?
Well, you know that if you strictly go by the book, the gazette we found in place, amnesty program ought to have ended by the end of 2015, December. But the president realized that there were many promises and conditions put in place that had remained unfulfilled. And it took us all this while because the president wanted to know what is it that the government has failed to do for its part. When we audit the agreement, we decide then how do we take it forward. I think a measure of progress has been made from all of the discussions that are going on, and you can see that payments had been done in the last couple of weeks. Not all of the backlog had been cleared, but some payment for 2 months had been made. And even in the 2017 appropriation, there's a provision, I think, of about 65 billion that is intended to go into the sustenance of the amnesty program. If it is to secure Niger Delta, to ensure uninterrupted economic activity, the president is willing to do just anything.
There are other areas that the president is also looking at funding the Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri, where the heart of the insurgency is, also looking at the Nigeria Youth Service Corps and foreign missions. Tell us more about this plan by Mr. President.
I'm sorry, can you reframe the question?
Yes, but of course, there are other areas which Mr. President is seeking to make additional funding towards, including the NYSC program, also Operation Lafia Dole in Borno State, in the heart of the insurgency. How do you expect this to work out as well? Tell us more about it.
Well, NYSC has grown in size. It's started just small, and now it's this big. It's a matter of concern, and look at all of the inflation that has come in. 19,000 naira per month for youth cover for sustenance. Even the national minimum wage, which is just slightly below that, is now being renegotiated. So therefore, yes, it is in order that some of these projects be looked at. For Operation Lafia Dole, it's a war situation, and it's not negotiable that the war must be won. And we've seen a lot of sacrifices being made already. In the year that we just that just ended, 2016, you know that the president had to offer aircraft in his own fleet, which were converted to military uses. He asked the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to surrender their own helicopters also to the military, which they converted to military uses. every sector of the economy is required to make sacrifices in order that without this war being won, you can't get the economy going. You can't get anything done.
I want to thank you so much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us. Garba Shehu, the presidential spokesperson, talking to us on State of the Nation. We do appreciate your time so much indeed. And to you watching our platform at this time, many thanks for being a great host. We'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.